Hey YouTube, Wing Karibo One is here with a banlist prediction slash discussion video for August 2024. As Konami already said before that there is a banlist expecting sometime this month. They said that end of August. So it could be between any time this video is published and sometime next week. I'm thinking on the latter. It might come out maybe Monday. And YCS Sacramento was kind of, I guess, that little test because we already seen how Nationals was when Snake Guy was just running rampant. Snake Guy Things was just running rampant. And again, it won another YCS. Most of the top 16 was all a variant of Snake Guy, Fiendsmith, or Yubel, Fiendsmith. Uh, and I'm just going to say this now. Fiendsmith is not the problem. It is the decks that can play the Fiendsmith engine in it. So, we do have a banlist prediction video for you guys. It's obviously some cards I would love to see hit. Snake Eyes needs to be like destroyed. Like they need to do like a crucifixion list like they did with the T elements, the sprite when they hit like almost every single top tier deck. That's what they need to do now. So I am expecting hits on the Snake Guys, maybe indirect hits on Yubel, because Yubel, I guess you could say arguably is like the second best deck of the format if you don't say it's Tenpai. Tenpai is an amazing deck. Let's just say that now. It's an amazing deck, but it is also relatively new, so they don't want to like hit that deck like to make it like unplayable because they still want to sell like the most recent sets. But yeah, we're just gonna get into it now, and you guys probably see like the bottom of the list already, but obviously, Snake Eye Flamebird Dragon 100% has to go. This makes Snake Eye overpowered. It's like the best card in the deck. Now, without this card, the deck can still be playable, but not overly broken, where this one card will get you a full board and then your opponent has to play all around. This card gives it the consistency. So this card 100% just needs to go. No ifs, ands, discussions about it. We don't even know what's in the Megaton, so this may not even be in the Megaton. If it is in the Megaton, you know how Konami is. They gotta sell the Megaton. They like their money. So if it's not in the Megaton, then this will most likely get crucified. If it is in the Megaton, it's probably going to be limited, but just so they can, keep the deck alive to sell the tins. But I'm hoping for the latter to make sure that it gets forbidden at this point. Beatrice, I'm not even going to get into that. Beatrice just has to go. With the Fiendsmith engine now, this card is just too OP now. It's way too OP. This card has to go 100%. It's too generic. It's not even for like Burning Abyss anymore. That's what this card was made for Burning Abyss. It's not even played in Burning Abyss anymore. This card's played in everything else that can make, Snake Eye extremely broken. This is kind of a hit for Yubel. And I hate to say it because I do unfortunately play Unchained, but Unchained Soul of Yama has to go. I'm already testing my Unchained deck without this card to see how I will play it differently, just in case, worst case scenario, it does get banned. But this will be like an indirect hit for Yubel, because Yubel itself is broken, especially with the new Phantom of Yubel fusion card, the contact fuse, and then your opponent activates a monster effect and changes the effect to pop a card anywhere on their side, like on the field, deck, hand, anywhere. This card gives it the option to end up going into Unchained Solar Rage plays, so you can go straight into SP Little Knight, because you link summon their monster, turn into an SP Little Knight. They lose 2 monsters for the price of 1 card. This card, banning it, I love Yama, but I'm sorry, you also have to go. This is now. I'm not sure. I never played against the deck. I've never seen it in the format, but I'm getting some people saying that Giant Grinder needs to be hit in some capacity, cause like I said, I don't know much about this card honestly, but a lot of people are saying with the new Gimmick Puppet support, the deck is OP, it's got an OTK. This revolves around the OTK. I'm not gonna like try to like lie and say I know what the card do because I don't know what it does. I read the effect only once, and I'm just putting it up here. I'm not even gonna put it as forbidden. I'm gonna put it more as questionable because I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what could happen with this card. It could be ban worthy. It could not. I never played against Gimmick Puppet. I never played Gimmick Puppet. I never seen Gimmick Puppet in tournament, so I don't know how the deck plays. So I'm just gonna put it in the questionable on whether you guys think it should be hit in some shape or capacity. Sanctifier. I'm not gonna get into it. Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. If it, you, this is the Nightmare Enabler. This card has to go. It 100% has to go. This is obviously a hit for the Albaz base decks, the Fallen Albaz base decks. When you get Gimmick Puppet locked, then you're kind of out of it. This card makes it so you get Gimmick Puppet locked immediately, and that's just not a fair card for this format at all, for this game at all. Um, I'm only saying this. Idol the Supreme. I don't even know what the whole name of this card is. I can't see the name, but I just know it's Idol. Idol. IDO. Um, this card basically is you cannot summon monsters. Now, I don't know if there is a new card, because I know we got new sets coming in. Konami don't like cards that don't make you play Yu-Gi-Oh! As we already seen. I don't know. I know Mimighoul support. They normally have cards that like give you monsters. I don't know if this is a way for them to actually do that. But any card that can somehow say you can't do X, it needs to go. I've never seen this card in play, so I don't know if anybody's actually playing it. I'm doing this, I guess, as a premature ban to like ban it before it becomes too good in the game. So yeah, that's basically that. That's it for the forbiddens and the one questionable we have so far. There are more questionable cards in here. Um, limited skill drain. You limit all the other floodgates. This has to be another one that has to be back on the limited list. I don't know what they were thinking putting it back at 2. Well, back at 2 it was okay, and then back at 3 it was also kind of toxic, but it was only played in like maybe 3 decks. But now it's that being played everywhere now, so like every deck can play it. This card is also way too broken to be in the game right now. It's not ban worthy. Some people are saying ban it. I don't think it's ban worthy personally. I think just putting it back at 1 should just be fine for the format. I hate this card. This card needs to go to 1. People are saying it should be banned. I personally think putting it at 1 is fine. D-Shifter. This card is just it's literally a macrocosmos for 2 turns. It's too good to be in the form. It's real too good. I saw some other Yugi tubers also stating that this card gives rogue decks, like other rogue decks, a chance to actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is true, but there's a lot of decks that rely on graveyard, a lot of decks that rely on banish, and there's also some that rely on both. A card that literally says you cannot use your graveyard for 2 turns is completely broken. Like I said, I personally don't think it's ban worthy. I think putting it at 1 is fine. That's just me. Um, as I mentioned before about Tenpai, the deck is relatively new, so we don't want to like slaughter the deck right away. So I think Sangan summoning to just 1 would just put the deck in check, not hitting anything else. Cause like a card that literally says all your monsters are unaffected by X for like the main phase is really broken. So this is also a search card. The only thing I find good about it that this card could be Ghost Ogre because they just can't activate and search. They have to activate first and then use the effect. So Ghost Ogre is a good out to this card. But if you obviously don't have the Ghost Ogre, then then they're just gonna go off on that turn. So I think just putting Tenpai Dragon in check by limiting this is going to be just fine for the format. I actually would have no complaints if the card went to 1 and Tenpai were just like it's just there. Whoa, wrong way. Pot of Prosperity. Literally the best pot card in my opinion in the game right now. You banish 3 or 6 extra decks. Mostly it's gonna be cards that you won't never summon, cards that you won't even care about, and you excavate the top 6. You can get any out that you want from your deck, most likely. You just gotta hope you don't, run into another Pot of Prosperity or like, let's say a D shifter or something of that nature. But any card that allows you to literally look at the next 6 cards of your deck and then get that one game breaking card or board breaking card that can change the whole outcome of the game. I think this card is too strong to be in the game at 3. I'm okay with this card being at semi-limited or limited. It's definitely not ban worthy, so I think putting it, in my opinion, at 1 should be alright for the meta, but I would not be mad if it's actually at 2. So I will actually say I will put Pot of Prosperity at 2, because I think putting it at 2 seems a little bit more fair. It cuts the equity down a little bit from your decks. Um, Crossout Designator, a lot of people are saying this card needs to get hit in some shape or capacity, in some way possible. I played Crossout before. I like the card. I have not played in every single deck. This card right now is good for all the top tier decks, especially during mirror match, because against Snake, let's say I'm actually add you cross out designated Ash, and then they can't use Ash anymore, or cross out the skill drain or something in the like any type of floodgates or like staple like imperm, cross out Ash, cross out Ghost Ogre, Fed Bail. It's a whole bunch of cards you could cross out, and this card is just extremely broken. So I think this card needs to get hit in some shape or form. This card needs to go to it needs to go to 1. Putting it at 2 is not gonna do anything. So I think just putting it at 1 should be just fine for the game. Runic Fountain. You guys have seen that some Runic decks have also been doing extremely well, especially with the new support, not new support, but the new variants of the decks that came out. Runic Fountain is broken. Like, I don't know what Konami was thinking putting it from 3 to 2, like it was going to do something, because it didn't do anything. Yeah, they lost 1 fail spell, which is that's fine. They still got 2 more in the deck. If one gets destroyed, they're most likely gonna have the second one anyway. This card is just ridiculously good. Like it should not ever been semi-limited. It should have just been limited straight from the get-go. A card that literally says you can activate quick plays from your hand, and then after that, put them back and then draw the number of cards that you put back up to 3. That's broken. This card definitely needs to get hit in some shape, some way, and this card, putting it at 1 should be absolutely fine for the format. Semi-limits now, because that's it for the limited. Like I said, Power Prosperity, I want it to be limited, but now that I'm thinking about it, as I'm making this video, semi-limited is fine. Monkey board, it came to 1, nobody played it. Put it at 2, I think it's fine. I'm not gonna say put it at 3 immediately, but putting it at 2 should absolutely be fine. I don't think it's gonna do anything. It could probably go to 3 and it still won't do anything, but I don't think I'm gonna take any chances like that unless they're absolutely sure it won't do anything to the format. And they can't bring this back to 3 right now. Plush Fire is also still banned. Plush Fire also is getting an errata. I didn't read the errata yet. So Monkey Board to 2 is not gonna do anything. So it could most likely go to 3 and nobody would care. But you gotta be better safe than sorry. Shavara, I'm only saying semi-limited only if Yama gets banned. Cause this card, like these two came in the same set, and when Yama and these two together, this like the combos are great with this card. Unchained at full power with these at 3 and 3 and 3, excuse me, 3 and 3 is just ridiculous. So I think honestly putting Shavara at 2 with Yama banned I don't think would do really much anything to the format because like it will actually make Unchained a little bit more playable, but not like extremely broken, and it won't you won't be able to like do like the you broken you bell plays into Rage without Yama unless you play like um Abomination Prison to search the card, and I don't think you want to do that because you have to have one or the other in here. You have to have either the Shavara and you gotta have the trap, any of one of the traps that you want to have. I think Shavara at 2 would be fine, only if Yama gets banned, and I hate saying ban Yama, but I know it's probably gonna happen, so I'm just preparing for it mentally. Um, Miscellaneousaurus. I'm only saying put it back to 2. Dinos, it would just give like the format like a extra like for like Dino players to like play Dinos again. Miscellaneousaurus, yeah, it's almost like Sengen Summoning. It is a quick play. Dinos are like it doesn't. I'm not gonna say it has like a OTK. It does have a very powerful way to like destroy your opponent like quickly. Yeah, but I think honestly putting this to 2, I think will be fine. It's only liable for like a Dino engine, and I don't think there's really like any good Dino decks really running rampant right now. Maybe the Tyranno build, but I think we have come to like be able to like stop that deck in the tracks when it comes necessary. That's it for that. For the unlimited Armageddon Knight, it could go to 3, it could go to 6. Who cares? Nobody's gonna waste their normal summon on Armageddon Knight now. This card can go. It could have went from limited to 3 last format. Um, these next cards I have down here are all questionable, which means they can either that means they can't either from the ban list or it can go from ban to limited, limited to ban, semi-limited. You get the picture. But I'm just gonna put this here, Kit Kalos. I think, in my personal opinion, Kit Kalos honestly can come back to 1 only due to the fact that the Ishizu cards are affected by the ban list. The Agito and the Kelbeck are both banned, and the other 2 are limited. The shufflers, but the shufflers aren't like really like they're good, but they're not. You know, I'm not gonna send everything to the graveyard like that. I think this being at 1, coming off the ban list and putting it at 1, I think would give Tier Elements a chance. I'm only saying this card only. Everything else can stay right back where it's at 1. Like no other changes. Don't bring any of the other Tier Elements back from 1 to 2 or anything like that. I think this at 1 personally would be fine. Give Tier Elements a little in the game. I'm gonna put these 2 together because players are saying either one or the other should be banned. I personally think IP will probably be the one that will most likely get banned over Appaloosa, only because IP is more generic. 2 erroneous effect monsters to make it quick play, make Appaloosa, which is an armor negate. But Appaloosa, I have never seen with more than 3 negates on the board, and it is a chainable card. Like both of them are chainable. Like I said, Ghost Ogre, great card. I keep saying it. Um, IP I think would be the one to most likely get banned over Appaloosa just because it's a card that can be played during your turn or your opponent's main phase. And so I don't think Appaloosa is going to get banned in any way. If it does, that would actually not surprise me. But I just personally think IP will probably be the one that would get banned over Appaloosa. SP Little Knight is not getting banned at all. I don't know why people are saying IP. SP Little Knight is getting banned. Uh, Electromite, I think also could come back from ban to 1. Give Pendulums a little in the game. Give it another deck choice that players can play out of just like the tier decks, like tier elements, not tier elements, the Tenpai Dragon, the Snake Eye, the Yubel. Give another deck choice in the format, so I think it's fine. I'll be honest. I think this card should have came back 2 formats ago. It would have been completely fine at 1. Um, Call by the Grave. I put questionable. Some players are saying ban it outright, but some players are also saying put it at 2. I'm okay with it at 2. I don't think it's ban worthy, honestly. That's just me. I don't think it's ban worthy. I think it's fine at 1 where it's at, but I also not gonna complain if it goes to 2. The only thing I don't like about the card going to 2 is that if you have 2 of them, you can stop 2 cards, because this card is not a once per turn card. I don't know why that did that. So I'm like I said, I put this as questionable. It could go to 2. Some people are saying ban it. I'm okay with it being limited, staying where it's at limited or semi-limited. Either way, it's fine with me. I personally do not care. I don't know why this is even. I don't even know what this. I got this picture by accident. Ignore that. I don't know where that picture came from. I think that was from like one of my old lists I was gonna do. Snake Eye Ash. Get this out of here. Snake Eye Ash. Um, like I said, Snake Eye needs to get hit in some shape, some way possible. I don't think banning Snake Eye Ash is the problem, but I do believe it needs to be addressed. If Konami does the right thing and ban Flamebird's Dragon, I think this is fine to stay where it's at, or they can put the put the deck in check some more by limiting the card, by limiting Ash. I'm okay. Like I said, as long as I'm not gonna complain if Snake Eye is still extremely broken after Flamebirds gets banned, because then at least they won't have like an extremely broken board on just one card. You gotta actually like work to make it now. I think honestly, this at 3, this at 1, I'm not gonna complain about it either way. I don't. I think everybody is completely done with this with Snake Eye in general. So I don't think they're gonna complain whether this card goes to 1 or 2. There might be some complaints if it goes if it stays at 3, but I don't think Yugi players are gonna complain too much if Snake Eye Flamebird Dragon is banned, and then they can do whatever they want to do with this. So I'm also gonna put this in the questionable. I already have 2 copies of that, so I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. Invoke generic rank 3. Are there any real good warrior decks or beast warrior decks out there that's going to break the game? I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so. It's possible it could happen, but I don't think it will. So I think this going to 1 questionably will be fine. I don't think it's gonna be game breaking. I think this was extremely broken during Goki format. So I think this at 1 coming off the ban list going to 1 is absolutely fine. Brilliant Fusion also I think is absolutely fine coming back off to 1. I don't think anybody's gonna really play Gem Knight anyway. I don't think UV players don't like playing bricks like that. So I think if you add this and then you somehow draw a brick, then this card is dead. You're not gonna play more than 2 Gem Knights in the deck just to play this. So I think this at coming off the balance, I think will be absolutely fine for the game. So in conclusion, Flamebird needs to go. Beatrice needs to go. Yama, I'm sorry, I love you, but you also need to go. Sanctifier needs to absolutely go. This is like a pre-ban, but I don't. It needs something needs to happen with that card. I think it needs to go. Skill Drain. I think Yugi players are done with that card. D Shifter. I personally hate the card. I know other players hate the card. I don't know what they're gonna do with this. I say limited. Sengen Summoning puts the deck in check. It doesn't completely destroy the deck. Crossout Designator limited. That's just me. I think it's fine. Honestly, where it's at, but other players may not agree with me. I think this card is like it's whatever. Runic Fountain, 2 broken, needs to go to 1. I don't know why they put it from 3 to 2 anyway, and thinking it was just gonna be absolutely fine that way. Prosperity at 2, I think it's fine. I'm not gonna complain if it goes to 1. Monkey Board, nobody cares. Miscellaneous, sure. I don't think it's gonna break the game anyway. Shavara, only if Yama is banned. Armageddon Knight, who cares? And the rest of these are all questionable. Um, so that is actually, I believe, my first banlist prediction video I actually done in like a very long time. Let me know what you guys think about the about my list. I'm actually gonna read the comments to see what you guys would think about it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Win Curry 1 is out. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next